Well, right now it is time to head to the streets with our Encounter Street team. The EST team is focusing on positive media this month. Since our guest is Father Sievert from Loyola Productions, the team asked people how important it is to have a Catholic Christian voice in media. Let's find out how people responded to Encounter's Question of the Month.
I think they definitely should. I think they should. The media is not going away. Media changes. I mean, media was present all along in different forms, newspapers, etc. But before, when media was printed newspaper that you would sit in a rocking chair and read, you would only do that for such a limited period of time, and then you'd go to church for your community, And now the community is in the media a lot in different ways. Texting and phone calls and Facebook and Skyping. And so that is, in a way, for good or bad, a bigger part of people's community. So I think church needs to be there.
Media is a broad term. I think that things like Catholic TV, outlets where Catholics can speak to Catholics, that's great. It provides a sense of that interconnectedness, that social interconnectedness with Catholics. But in the media, in the sense of, when I turn on CNN, do I want to see the Archbishop of Boston giving his opinion on some new legislation? I don't think there should be. I think that we need that division. I think it's good for society in general, and it avoids a Catholic voice getting involved in an area that it's not really meant for. I mean, it's one thing for a priest to maybe give his opinion during a sermon at Mass. It's another thing for a bishop to be giving an interview on a news outlet in a political matter.
We don't need to be afraid. There's this idea of separation of church and state, because you had mentioned the political aspect, and we shouldn't be afraid of that. We should, if there's something that's happening in the world or happening in politics that the Catholic faith has a perspective on, we should speak to it. Where you draw the line is maybe support of a particular politician, but it doesn't mean the topics aren't relative within our faith, and that we should be afraid to talk about them. We should stand up.
Oh, most definitely. I think there should be a Catholic presence in the media, because it's constantly the Catholic Church that's being slammed in the media about every little thing that goes on. And I just think that we don't fight back as Catholics, and I think that's one of our issues, is we don't stand up and tell our side of the story.
I absolutely think the Catholics should have a presence in the media. I think that it's today's day and age with our electronics, etc., the way that technology is moving. There's the only way I think we're going to outreach to a lot more people is through various media, social media, stuff like that, because that's the way so many young people really communicate or connect in some way. Maybe not the best way, but at least it is a vehicle, and I think we have to use it.
Yeah, I think it's important to get the message out. I think you do run into problems if they get too heavily involved in politics, and that can be extremely controversial. But I think it's important to get the Catholic message out, and it's really necessary to be involved with the media to do that.
I think it's absolutely important for Catholics to have a presence in the media, whether it be as in Catholic TV and that sort of media, or in the general media, in the press, in the television news, etc., to bring across the true viewpoint of the Catholic faith and how people are living that in their lives day in and day out and expressing that. I think that's critical.